What's happening, people, and welcome back to Park Lane Podcast. Obviously, it is international break, so we can have a little bit of fun away from everything, not being brought down by Spurs. Obviously, I am joined by our usual co-host, our usual host, Luke, and Wes as well. So, Luke, how you doing, mate?
Do you know what? I'm absolutely buzzing to not actually be hosting this week. I'm buzzing so much I completely forgot to plug my microphone in, so I'll plug it in now so that you can actually all hear me properly.
Wonderful stuff, mate. And Wes, I can obviously see part of your head. I can't see all of it because it is a bit fuzzy. But how you doing, mate?
Yeah, no, not too bad. I've had a bit of a trouble with this virtual background because I think everybody else had one. I was feeling a bit left out, so I thought I'd add to it, and then can't get rid of it now. But no, all good. A break from Spurs, I think, is what the doctors ordered. But no, very much looking forward to what you've got in store for us tonight, Callum. 100%.
Well, like over age club, the over 25s in the X Factor, because we've used technology so much that we fucked it, and now we can't even work it to turn it off. So
Yeah, so literally we are pretty much the equivalent of the granddads tonight, so it's all right. We will be telling a heated blanket, even though it's not automated, to turn itself off, and then saying it's fucking shit. So it's all wonderful as we do. Obviously we can't get away from that there was a game at Spurs today, a great Legends game between Spurs and AC Milan. And to be honest, based on how it was quite a glamorous lineup. I'm not going to lie. So, Wes, if I can come over to you, there was obviously a lot of legends on offer today. I mean, was you any person that you was looking forward to seeing live at all?
I guess it would have to be like my idol, Aaron Lennon. I think obviously I didn't unfortunately I couldn't get to watch the game in any way, shape or form, but from what I've been told, he could do with starting against Chelsea and Southampton coming up. So he played really, really well. But yeah, looking at the lineup, I think Ginola would have been one I would have loved to have gone and seen, because he was like one of the only players worth going to watch at the time we had him, because the other 10 were that bad. I used to like Teddy Sheringham, Jermaine Defoe. I mean, I still talk about Jermaine Defoe now to players that I work with. So I think that kind of says it all, really. But yeah, I think there was definitely a few, but I think the special one for me would have been Aaron Lennon. I was hoping for Moussa Dembele, and I think if he was there, I'd have cancelled all plans and I would have gone. But yeah, it wasn't to be this time around. So hopefully they arrange another one, and hopefully Moussa Dembele plays in that one, and then I get to go and see him for one last dance.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Luke, I mean, based on the team that was out there today, I mean, there were definitely some questions over whether they do have legend status at Spurs, but it did read Gomez, Chimbonda, Dawson King, Kabul, Sandro, Tonino, Lennon, Defoe, Berbatov, and Keane to start out with, and Vaughan, Basong, Suakoto, Perry Brown, Nielsen, Freund, obviously, as Wes has said, Sheringham, and Falco as well. So, I mean, if we had that front line of Defoe, Berbatov, and Keane now, would you be wanting to come down from Scotland every single week that we played at home and seeing something special compared to what we've learned to live with for the last 2 seasons?
mate, that lineup's unreal, isn't it? To be honest, and I don't think they aren't legends, but like I think some of them have only just left in reality, even playing professional football. So then I did feel bad. I watched a few of the highlights and I saw like a few of the AC Milan players like running back, absolutely blowing, overweight and underpaid by the looks of it. But no, I think those three especially, like I don't necessarily like that much Berbatov. I loved him when he played for Spurs, but I didn't really like how he left Spurs, and also kind of went to United. But in the same instance, like you just can't get away with how unbelievable he is. I saw the highlight of his like touch in the second half or first half. It was absolutely outrageous. Just still got it, still an unbelievable. He can play with his hands in his pocket. He still run rings around most people.
Yeah, no, exactly, mate. I mean, for me, it was probably seeing Dawson, King, and Defoe. Obviously, all players that I've grown up loving, to say the least. So, I mean, when you do have something that special, I mean, you can't poo-poo around it, can you? But obviously, there was a lot of people out there for the Italian team as well who we've all loved and watched in the past. And I mean, one of them for me is Pirlo and his free kick that he took today. I mean, where's that's magic, isn't it? I mean, have we had that at Spurs anytime soon?
Mate, give him a contract now, Andrea Pirlo. Like he's just a timeless footballer. Near enough, do you know what I mean? Like he's rolling back the years, and it looks like he could do a job. Like even at the age that he's at, like he still looks like the same as when he played, and almost like when he retired. So yeah, honestly, get him in the number 6 position for Spurs, and I think we'd do all right. To be fair, you know, him supplying, you know, the front line, I think wouldn't be a bad shout.
You know how it works? So, like in NFL, and how you can bring on like a kicker to take, you know, certain plays and things like that. Like, that's what you need in football now. Just need a Pirlo. Just bring him on for free kicks, penalties, you know, anything kind of, even corners. To be fair, you know, and then just sub him back off again because he ain't running around for 90 minutes, is he? But he could. He's another one like with Berbatov, could just stand there with his hands in his pockets and just, you know, do absolute bits. So.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, the only other one that probably surprised me a little bit was Michel Vorm. I mean, he always seems to rock up when we either need a backup goalkeeper or sign on a free contract. Do we actually know if he's retired now or whether he's still about? But
I wouldn't class him as legend status. Let's be honest. Maybe they were scratching around for goalkeepers to try and find Hilarious Gomez and Michel Vorm. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. What would you say our legendary goalkeeper status is? Probably Pat Jennings, wouldn't it be? As one of our.
I'd have Ian Walker any day of the week in goal.
With the curtains.
Yeah. It's only if he brings back the curtains. Yeah.
Do we actually know how old Ian Walker is now, or if he is still in this world or the next?
So, I mean, hopefully not dead. Christ.
We could have had Casey Keller, Brad Friedel. Do you know what I mean? There's a few others in there. Espen Bartson,
Cudicini. We'll get him back. Why not?
Yeah, literally. But I think our goal. I think the biggest one would have probably been Paul Robinson. Let's be honest. But I don't know if he does like those types of.
He's slagging off Levy too much, isn't he?
I think he's more worried about doing transfer insider at the moment with Paul O'Rourke. Let's put it that way. So that's probably what's keeping him in the land of football for that. But no, obviously Spurs did run out a respectable 6-2 win. We did let AC Milan get into it a little bit, but we were 5-0 up at one point. I think we kind of felt sorry for them by the end of it, so we probably had to give the Italian fans a little bit to go away with before.
Do you reckon the AC Milan lot were going, "It's all right, lads, it's downhill second half"? Do you think?
No, I reckon Paratici was sitting there and thinking, this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to AC instead of staying at Spurs after this. So he was probably meeting up with the legends. He was probably doing all his chatting. But no, obviously a very good game and a nice watch for a Sunday, to be honest, compared to some of the dross that we have seen over the past 6 months. So hopefully tonight's quiz will give us a bit of nostalgia, a bit of a boost up as well. And we're probably some of the questions are probably before any of us were born. So I will do them as multiple choice questions. We are respectively before the age of 40. And Dave's not. Well, just for you. I mean, I'm probably the youngest one here now, and yet I look the oldest. So what can we say?
Wasn't it, mate?
Oh, don't, mate, don't. I've aged badly. But no, so obviously the way that it'll work, I've done 20 questions, 10 before the 2000 mark on Spurs history. And then we've got more recent history after 2000s up to this season as well to see where we go. Okay. Thank you very much, Tracy Beeson, for liking us. Very much big welcome for that. I didn't know what that chime was. Luke hasn't briefed me on that part of the show, so thank you, Luke, on that side. It went right in my ear, but no. So obviously it'll be a round-based system of 5 questions per round. It will then involve Luke and Wes pretty much giving out their answers. And I will then go over each question at the end of the round and whoever gets a point will be tallied up by myself, and then the winner of the round will go towards the end of the game, where the winners will get points towards their match day squad prediction table, which people are winning, and the winner will get 3 points as if they do get a correct Spurs score, so that could clinch victory or push someone towards victory, with the end of the season being.
Desperately here. Wait, quick. I need to recap. Am I writing down my answers, or am I just answering each question? I don't want to get this wrong.
I will get you to write it down, and then once I've gone through it all, find a notepad, Luke. Come on, you got to be prepared.
I'll just use my phone. Hold on.
Yeah.
Get the notes section open.
So make a note, and then I will go through each question at the end of the round, asking you your answers, and then I will tell you the correct answer for it. Anyone who wants to join up in the chat, obviously post your answers in the chat. I won't be reading them out live as we do, because obviously I need to keep it as Luke and Wes, but if you keep score as we go along, and then you can tell me who would have won, and if you want to gift your points at the end to either of our winners, if you do get all the questions correct, then we will have a three-way discussion to see if we agree, or if not, then tough shit for our other co-hosts tonight, and they can just make do with 3 points, whichever one wins. So, is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Wes, you are on mute. So, are you ready,
because
sir?
there's a bit of feedback, so I keep muting. So
okay.
Apologies for any feedback, but yeah, I am ready.
Right. So, the first round is called Spurs History. So, this will be.
I would like to apologise to all my friends and family for the performance that's about to unfold right here.
Luke, no one has any expectations of you in life, mate, so it's all right. It's why your missus only allows you to come on here once a week, because she knows that you can only be on TV and make an arse out yourself once. Right, so I will stop being a prick and we will get on with the chat. So, first question, and this is a big one. What year was Tottenham Hotspur founded? Is it A, 1882? Is it B, 1878? Or C, 1886? So, have you both got your answers, or would you like me to reread? Would you like me to read them out again?
No.
Luke, are you sure?
Yeah. This is just one that you should know, and I knew that I should have done some research, because when I did quiz at Christmas a year or so ago, this was the same question in it, and I can't remember the answer. So,
right. If anyone else has got anything in the chat, don't forget to drop your answers. Luke, do not check the chat, because we know you've probably screwed this. So we've got no hope in you, mate. Right. Next question. One of our most famous managers in history obviously has a statue down by the lane. The glorious Bill Nicholson. How many trophies did Bill Nicholson win at Spurs? Is it A, 7, B, 9, or C, 11?
That's a tough one, that.
Yeah. I've had to guess, to be honest, not going to lie.
Right, so are you both ready for me to move on to the next question?
Yeah.
Next question. Before Harry Kane, who was Spurs' all-time top goal scorer? Was it A, Glenn Hoddle, B, Gary Mabbott, or C, Jimmy Greaves?
Didn't even need multiple choice for this one.
Well, I had to do it because it's multiple choice questions, so it was either that or I just make you guess it and shout out an answer.
No, that's fair. I needed it for the others, but I didn't need it for them.
Right, question 4. What player made a big money move between Newcastle and Spurs before the year 2000? Was it A, Paul Gascoigne, B, Musa Sissoko, or C, Pascal Chimbonda?
I actually don't know the answer to this. This is going to drive me nuts.
It's literally giving you a clue within the bloody question, Luke.
Why?
There's a clue in the question.
And this one, even though it is question 5, and I will give this to you to make sure that Luke does at least get one answer on this round, because I feel sorry for him because he looks clueless. And Wes, I believe you've got this question 4 already. What was the nickname of that player? Was it A, Hazard, B, Fazza, or C, Gaza?
Right.
Right. Have you both got your answers for first
Just
round?
write it down.
Cool.
Googling Gaza. I'm joking. Yeah, all good.
Right. So, what year was Tottenham Hotspur founded? Luke, what was your answer, please?
I went with A,
A.
which I believe was 1882.
Wes, what did you go with, sir?
I also went with A, which was 1882.
The correct answer is 1882. So that is a point each.
Woo!
Whatever happens from now on, I'm proud of myself.
Lovely stuff. So, question 2. How many trophies did Bill Nicholson win at Spurs? Was it A7, B9, or C11? Luke, what answer have you gone for?
I went, if in doubt, go down the middle, so I went 9.
Okie dokie. And Wes, what did you go for?
I also went B, which was 9.
Oh.
The correct answer was C11.
Oh.
Fair play. Fair play.
So no points on that one. So it is 1-1 on the doors as we go into the third question. Number 3. Who is Spurs' all-time top goal scorer? I want the name from you, Luke, of who you think it is before Harry came. Okay. And Wes, who do you go for?
I went with Jimmy Greaves.
Jim Boy.
You are in fact correct, both of you, on that answer, because he was one of the best footballers we've ever seen in our lifetimes. Well, not in our lifetimes, but in Spurs history, I would say, because no matter what my dad says, he is still better than pretty much any other player that he's seen play when it comes to being an England and Spurs striker. So, number 4. What player made a big money move between Newcastle and Spurs? What name did you go for, Luke?
What I found confusing, well, first of all, I got the answer from the next question. But what I found confusing was in my brain, I believed that all of these players moved at some point somewhere, or at least 2 of them made this move from, did they not? From Newcastle to Spurs?
Musa
So,
Sissoko
yeah.
and Paul Gascoigne has.
Yeah,
So
I couldn't decide. I
Pascal
realised there was at
Wonder did.
least 2, and then I was racking my brain for pre-2000. Then obviously I assumed it must have been Gaza, but then you then answered the next question, so I put Paul Gascoigne.
Paul Gascoigne. Okie dokie. And Wes, who did you go for, sir?
I went with A, Paul Gascoigne.
Paul Gascoigne. So a point for each of you, gentlemen, on that one. So number 5. What was his nickname for a bonus point? Was it Fazza? Was it Stazza? Or was it Gaza? Luke?
Gaza.
Gaza? And Wes, what did you go for?
Yeah, C, Gaza.
C, Gaza. So that is in fact correct on that. So at the end of round 1, it is a point each for you going into round 2.
I'll take that. Where's his fuming, but I'll take it.
No, I'm okay. I'm all right at this stage.
So it is getting a little bit more tricky as we go ahead. So we will go on to some transfer-based questions in this next round, all pre-2000s though.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm feeling this.
And some of these are some of the biggest legends in Spurs history, in my opinion, at least. So it's all about perception. In August 1977, Spurs
Christ.
sold Pat Jennings to which team? A. Chelsea, B. Arsenal, or C. Everton? Tell me when you're ready to move on to the next one.
I'm all ready.
Okie dokie. The next one is in July 1989, Spurs signed Gary Lineker from which club for £1.1 million? Is it A. Barcelona, B. Leicester, or C. Everton? I can see that you're all a little bit thinking about this one, so I'll give you a little bit of extra time. Would you like me to read the answers out again?
No, I've got mine written down.
No, I'm not. No, no. Move on.
Okie dokie. Question 8. In August 1992, Spurs signed which star striker who would make a move to Man United in the future? Is it A. Glenn Hoddle, B. Teddy Sheringham, or C. Jimmy Greaves?
And silence.
Number 9. In 1994, which controversial Spurs signing was made by Alan Sugar as chairman? Is it A. Gary Mabbutt, B. Tim Sherwood, or C. Jurgen Klinsmann? All ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Ready?
Right, number 10, and the last question in this round. Who was chairman before ENIC took over Spurs in 2002? Is it A. Christian Gross, B. Steve Parish, or C. Alan Sugar? Are we all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, question 6. In August 1977, Spurs sold Pat Jennings to which team? It was either A. Chelsea, B. Arsenal, or C. Everton. Luke, what answer did you go for?
I really wasn't sure, but I put for some reason I just a Chelsea came to mind. I wasn't sure whether like he was sold there or for some I don't know for some reason I came up with that, so that's why. But then I wanted to put C Everton, but I didn't. I put A Chelsea.
Okie dokie, no worries. And feedback on there. Is that Wes's side?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. Wes, in 1977 August, Spurs sold Pat Jennings to which team? A. Chelsea, B. Arsenal, or C. Everton? What did you go for?
I went with B. Arsenal.
B. Arsenal. Okie dokie. For some reason, I've just got to check it. So the correct answer was B. Arsenal. So Wes with the point on that one. So, question 7. In July 1989, Spurs signed Gary Lineker from which club for 1.1 million? Was it A. Barcelona, B. Leicester, or C. Everton? Luke, what team did you go for, sir?
Barcelona. But
Okay.
again, I can't remember who we would have signed him from. I know he's played for probably all these clubs, so it didn't really help me in that situation. So that's what I went with.
No, that is fair. And Wes, without feedback, what one did you go for, sir?
I went with A, Barcelona.
A, Barcelona. The correct answer is A, Barcelona. He started his career at Leicester and then went to Barcelona. Well, he went to Leicester. He was at Leicester, then went to Everton for a season, then went to Barcelona, then to Tottenham Hotspur, and scored 67 goals in 105 appearances to make him a great player for us and something that we hope would have continued, but never did. So a
One
point.
of those interesting ones, you'd think I knew that he played at Barcelona. I was trying to figure out at which point in his career was he at Barcelona, and then in my mind I was like, surely I'd have heard. Do you know what I mean? Spurs signing him from Barcelona, because you'd think like that would stick in your brain for some reason. But
Well, I thought it was Leicester, then to Spurs, and then to Barcelona and all that,
yeah.
but it was obviously the other way round. So, no, that was a bit of an intriguing question for even me as quizmaster. Right, so number 8. In August 1992, Spurs signed which star striker who would later make a move to Man United? Was it A, Glenn Hoddle, B, Teddy Sheringham, or C, Jimmy Greaves? Luke, what answer did you go for?
The boy Teddy Sheringham.
You went for B, Teddy Sheringham. And Wes, what did you go for, sir?
I went with the only player out of the 3 to actually go to Manchester United, which is Teddy Sheringham.
Okie dokie. So that is a correct point for both of you. I had to give you some easy ones in terms of the answers. The questions are bastards, but at least the answer could be all right. So, in 1994, which controversial Spurs signing was made by Alan Sugar as chairman? Luke, what player did you go for?
Jurgen Klinsmann.
Okie dokie. And Wes, what did you go for?
I went with C, Jurgen Klinsmann.
Klinsmann.
I didn't know why it was controversial. I thought you added Tim Sherwood in there because he's an arsehole.
No,
I
it
don't
was
know if you're smart enough to do that.
the reason why I said it was controversial was because the manner that Alan Sugar acted in, because he'd been a twat all the way up to that point, and this was one of them where I know we've talked before saying he did fuck all for the club, but when you bring someone in as magic as Klinsmann, even for a season, I think that's where the controversy came from it.
And I think as well, I watched the Teddy Sheringham Off the Shelf podcast, and I think Sheringham had a discussion with Ozzy Ardiles, who was manager at the time, and I think Ozzy Ardiles was trying to convince Diego Maradona to come to Tottenham, but they weren't quite having it with all these like off-field stuff. So then Teddy was like, "Okay, right, whatever," and then it was like, "But we're going to be signing Jurgen Klinsmann." So Teddy was like, "All right, fair enough."
Right, our final question for the round. Who was chairman before ENIC took over in 2002? Was it A, Alan Sugar, B, Christian Gross, or C, Steve Parish? Luke, what answer did you go for?
Well, I thought you said C was Alan
Oh,
Sugar, so
sorry, I've got my numbering wrong way round. So,
but anyway, Alan Sugar.
Alan Sugar.
You're fired.
Oh, shut up. If you want to be host, you can take back over and come up with another 10 questions because I ain't giving you them. Wes, and what did you go for, sir?
I went with Lord Sugar.
Lovely stuff. So that is a point for each of you. So at the end of that round, it is 2-1 to Wes.
Come on.
So
it's not all wrong yet, I think. Oh, fucker.
The next round is going to be after 2002. And it is a matter of cups, transfers, and managers. And I will do this in 2 stages. I will hope to do it pre-2010 and then 2010 up to 2025, if it all goes to plan. So, question 1. In what year Did Spurs win the Carabao Cup?
Last.
Yeah. Is it A, 2005, B, 2010, or C, 2008? Have you got your answers?
Yep.
Lovely. Number 2. And this one I've been thinking about, and I'm just having to think whether I like the question or not.
Oh, fair play.
It's more the fact that I'm trying to remember whether I actually put it in my head or whether I wrote it down.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Game's gone to Blackburn here, Jeff.
In what year?
Richard never reveals his secrets.
In what year did Harry Redknapp become Spurs manager? Is it? And I will give you a couple of options in a second. Once
he figures out when that was.
No. It will be all there. I will do
You should
it.
make this more difficult now and just make us guess, because I just want Wes to lose.
Do you want to? I can make a couple of guess questions in this round as well.
Yeah.
In what year did Harry Redknapp become Spurs manager? This one will be a guess question.
Okay, I've got a number written down.
You sure on that one, Luke? Are you positive?
Yeah.
I'd hate for
not,
a bit.
Not positive one bit, but
You see, I hate a little seed of doubt to be planted in your mind to make you change your answer.
Just change it.
Question 3. How long was Harry Redknapp at Spurs? Was it A, 1 year, B, 3, or C, 4?
No idea.
Have you got your answers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I might change it.
Would you like a little bit more time on that question?
No, I'm just kind of mulling it over in my head. This is like peak my time to watch Spurs as well. Like,
I know, that's why I've gone with these ones as well, because I thought that you'd both be shit at the other ones. Right.
I mean, if they hadn't been multiple choice, I'd have probably got like 1 or 2 out of 20, whatever we're at, 10 we're at.
This is going to be a multiple answer question here.
Oh, you're joking.
And this is worth 2 points.
Oh my god.
What year did Jermaine Defoe, and this is the first time he joined Spurs, not the second time. What year did Jermaine Defoe join Spurs? And what team was he signed from?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
You have to get both answers here.
If you get one, then you get 1 point. If you get both answers correct, you get 2 points.
I think maybe signing them. I can't even think. My mind's gone blank.
Shame.
And obviously, both answers have to be when he first joined Spurs, not when he left Spurs and then came back.
Who did we sign him from?
Wes, are you confident on this one?
Very confident. Very, very confident.
Cool, Luke, you're fucked.
Put it this way, I'm that confident I'll even tell you what boots he wore on his debut.
Was you at the game?
No.
Was your dad at the game?
No. My dad wouldn't have gone without me at that point.
Okay.
Right, let me think.
You still thinking, Luke?
There's only one club in my head, but I just don't think it's right.
Put it down. Have a guess. You never know.
No, I've written down a year and a club name. I just can't think.
Are you ready?
Here.
Yeah.
Last question on this round. Which Spurs manager last won the Carabao Cup?
Ah, easy. Legend.
So, Callum, if I actually get the answer of the boots that the player in question was wearing, do I get an extra point for that?
No, that
No.
means fuck all. Get stuffed.
Fair enough. Don't ask, you don't get. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't be harsh on Luke because I know that he is
I'd
struggling.
have just gone for Predators, to be honest. That's just a classic boot, isn't it?
Oh, exactly. Right. So, question 1. In what year did Spurs win the Carabao Cup? Was it A, 2005, B, 2010, or C, 2008? Luke
2008, baby.
and Wes?
C, 2008.
A point
Oh,
each for you on
Jonathan
that one.
Woodgate moment, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right. Question 2. In what year did Harry Redknapp become Spurs manager? Luke?
I wasn't sure whether it was 2009, but I put 2008 in a blind panic. But now I'm thinking, how could that happen? Because we just won the Carabao Cup. So I put 2008.
Okie dokie. And Wes?
I put 2008 with confidence.
You are correct because obviously Juan de Ramos was sacked in that season
I want to say it was around October, November time, I think.
when Spurs were sitting 15th or 16th and then dropping down further into 18th, where we was nearly relegation threatened in the Premier League. And Daniel Levy made the audacious decision to bring in Harry Redknapp to take over. So, no, very well done.
Because I'm pretty sure
I can't see the chat, so I do want to say hello to anybody that's watching. If there is anybody out there, we hope you're enjoying the quiz. But yeah, I can't see you because I haven't got a chat with them. But I hope you're all there.
Right.
But yeah, I think Harry Redknapp famously came out in his interview when he got the job and said that he had more points on his license than we had at the stage of the season he took over. So
no, that is very good. So that's a point for both of you. Obviously, let's do a couple of shout outs. So, obviously, evening Barney, thanks for being here, mate, as always. Evening Jay. Jay, we was hoping to see Winnie tonight, mate. We will check for an update and bring it to you when available. Obviously, evening Steve. How's it going? Where's your mum's ears too? There we go.
tuning in as always.
Lovely
Love to
stuff.
see it.
Obviously, welcome to anyone else who has been watching us live. The numbers have been very good tonight, so I'm glad to see that people are hopefully enjoying it and not stuck with the trivial crap of Spurs in general. So hopefully these are looking back on good times within reason. So, question 3. How many years was Harry Redknapp at Tottenham? Was it A, 1, B, 3, or C, 4? Luke, what did you go for?
Still undecided. I want to go 3, but I've gone 4.
Okie dokie. And Wes, what did you go for, sir?
I went with option C, which was 4 years.
4 years. That is correct. Harry Redknapp was at Spurs from 2008 to 2012, where he was then controversially sacked after having links to England and obviously a tax scandal in regards with HMRC. His publicity was at an all-time low, and we went to get the controversial manager to replace him, who I believe was Andre Villas-Boas. After that, and we went back to bringing Chelsea managers in, which has never solved anything. And since then, has proved to neither solve anything either. So we seem to have a running habit of fuck all use
And
from
Jimmy
them.
Redknapp still not got over that and still bitter about Spurs. So, yeah.
He's a fairy, so it's all right. So we'll leave him to do his league of his own bollocks on that. Right, so this is your 2-point question, which could swing the round in anyone's favour. In what year did Jermaine Defoe join Spurs? Part 1. And what team was he signed from? Part 2. So, Luke, I need both of your answers now, please. So, what year did he join Spurs and what team was he signed from?
Right, so I don't know either answer, if I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I wrote down. I wrote down, because you said some of these questions would be pre-2010, if I remember correctly. So I thought, can't be. So I thought, you wouldn't say 2010 in my eyes. And we've already done questions about 2008. And he wasn't there when we won, as far as I know, the League Cup. So I put 2009. And I did put, for some reason, the only club I could think of was Leeds, but then I've scrubbed that out because I know he didn't sign from there, because that there was other players that signed from Leeds, it wasn't him. So then I put Sunderland for some bizarre reason, and that's what I have to stick with, because I have absolutely no idea.
So it was Sunderland, and what year was it?
2009.
2009. And Wes?
I went with 2004, and the club was West Ham United.
Okay, so I got all of them wrong.
So, Wes, you are the winner on that one. This was a very controversial transfer at the time because based on the rivalry between Spurs, he obviously made the move across to North London. It didn't go down very well with the Spurs. Well, it went down very well with the Spurs fans, didn't with the West Ham fans, though, and they haven't really ever forgiven him for it ever since. So, Luke, you went obviously 2009 and Sunderland. He did go on loan to Sunderland at one point and then moved there permanently after that, but you was 5 years too late. And I did say the first time he came to the club and not the second time, because the second time he was in the right sort of year span, and that was from Portsmouth when we sold him stillily for one season, and then Harry Redknapp chose to bring him back after selling him in the summer of that year. So no point for Luke.
Various things has done wonders to my brain, clearly.
No, it's fair, mate. It's fair. And the last question, which Spurs manager last won the Carabao Cup?
Juan de Ramos.
Luke, Juan de Ramos. And Wes?
Juan de Ramos.
You are both correct on that front. I have realised that I did say it earlier as well, giving away the answer, but luckily we was doing summarisation rounds.
It's the type of question I can answer, but the problem is Wes knows all the answers, so it's difficult for me to find any question that I would actually know and that he wouldn't know.
Do you know Wes has probably got the book that I've got, this quiz book?
I want to see his Google search history. I don't think we can show it live on stream. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, I'd actually be very concerned, and he might get in trouble with his other half if we go through his search history. So I think we will leave that to the ether and the cloud on that one. And I've just realised I've said that loud when your parents are watching this as well. So I am sorry, mate. I am sorry. Right. So at the end of that round, Wes, you are 3-1 up, sir, because Luke, from that round, you got 4 points. Wes, from that round, you got 6 points. Yeah, so Wes, you are 3-1 up on Luke.
Controversially, he's not got a single question wrong. Yeah.
Well, maybe he's literally got he's probably got my camera looking down and all that on his side just to try and nick the answers. So
I just know my stuff, lads. It's not that deep, honestly.
Yeah. That's what Cheetah would say, I think.
So these aren't these questions will be 2010 to 2025 to now. Oh, there we go. Where's your mum has just summed it up.
Fair enough.
Yeah, God help how your mum's put up with it for God knows how many years of marriage as well. So
40 years this year, by the way.
Congratulations on that one. So Luke will send a bouquet of flowers. He does run the
I'm start
channel,
making some
so
money from this shit show. I will.
well, don't have us on there, and then it won't be a shit show.
Yeah.
All right, so there's going to be a little bit of jumping about on this one. So, and there will be some transfers, there will be some manager questions, and there will be some trophy related. Well, we'll say we will. I want to aim it towards trophies, but something in terms of that. We shall say that. So, in what year did Spurs make it to the Champions League final? And these will all be guessing questions. There will be no multiple choice here.
Jesus. What is happening in your house, man? It's like you've got an old telly on.
No, it's probably the fan for my laptop that's going absolutely mental right now.
Jesus Christ, that's probably close to a jet engine. I mean, how close are you to Luton Airport?
About an hour.
Maybe your laptop just wants to be a plane instead.
Yeah.
Number
It's all about
2.
your new laptop.
In what year did Maurizio Pochettino become Spurs manager?
I knew you were going to ask that question.
And this will be a 2-part question. And what club did he sign from? Number 3. And this will be a 3-point question.
Oh.
In 2019, Maurizio Pochettino lost his job. Which 3 permanent managers replaced him before Ange Postecoglou? And I need them in order.
Oh.
And I'll give you a little bit of time to work out your order.
Am I going insane? Confident. Giving them like a contract and everything.
Yeah. They've got to be permanent placements and not caretaker managers. So Ryan Mason does not count.
Oh, Luke's fuming. Look at his face. He's raging.
Because I can't think. I can't think.
He's put Mason and Stellini in.
Fuck it.
No, I've got it. Don't panic.
Right.
It was just such a short space of time that my brain just completely forgot that it ever existed.
This one is a transfer-based question and has been notified by many players of Spurs potentially when we could have won the Champions League if this wouldn't have happened. What player was sold in the January in the Champions League campaign lead up under Pochettino before we beat Ajax and got to the final against Liverpool?
You want us to name a player that we sold in January? Just a random player.
If you know, you know, Luke. If you know, you know.
I will go back over it, Luke.
Do we only sell one player in January?
It was a controversial player who people said if he'd have stayed could have won us the Champions League final.
I mean, I think Clinton and Jai could have helped us win something, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to write his fucking name down, does it?
This is purely based on information said by Pochettino and other players that was in the squad at the time. And I think Wes knows what the sources that I'm talking about as well, don't you?
I definitely
Absolutely.
my answer that I wrote down. So that when Wes said if you know you know, then I wrote what I wrote down. So
Okay. And number 5. Which Spurs manager had a controversial rant after a 3-3 draw at Southampton, which resulted in him getting the sack 1 week later and being replaced by his assistant? So this is a 2-point question. I want to know the manager and I want to know the assistant as well.
okay, got it.
Right. Are we ready?
Yeah. I'm conceding defeat because I know most of these answers, and so therefore Wes will know all of these answers. But
right. In what year did Spurs make it to the Champions League final? Luke?
2019.
Wes?
Yeah, 2019. You're actually quite fortunate that I've got my virtual background on because my usual background has a massive clue.
19, right?
Yeah. So yeah. So
right.
yeah.
No, that's good. So that's a point each for that one. Right. Let's jump back to a very long gone time that we all miss and wish it was still happening. In what year did Pochettino become Spurs manager and what club did he sign from? Luke.
I wasn't sure on the year,
answer.
so I was trying to work it out. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you said Harry Redknapp, he was there 4 years, and then AVB was there, and then Tim Sherwood was there, and then Pochettino, I think, if my mind is correct, but neither of those two were there very long. Yep. So I thought he arrived in 2008 and then left in 2012, let's say roughly. Then each of those did a year at max. I've gone 2014 and I wrote Southampton.
Okie dokie. And Wes, who did you go for?
I went with the year 2014. I remember it well because I'd just started university. And the club was Southampton.
That is a point for each of you. So, yes, Luke, your knowledge was correct. It was Harry Redknapp, 2008 to 2012. He was controversially replaced with AVB for a year and a half. And then we had Tim Sherwood replace him from January as head of youth development at the club until the summer of 2014. Tim Sherwood obviously claims that he gave Harry Kane his debut as well in every way of life, even though Harry Redknapp had done that many years before in the Europa League and AVB had continued it. So it was Mauricio Pochettino picked up from Southampton by Daniel Levy in 2014. So that's a point each on that.
I believe AVB was there a year and a half.
Yeah.
That's mental. That is mental. What time in my life I've completely erased.
Well, yeah, we had the Magnificent Seven, didn't we, come in and we thought we'd sign the Beatles and instead we'd sign the Wombles instead. So that was fucking wonderful as a time in our lives. Right. So in 2019, Pochettino lost his job after a turgid run of games after losing the Champions League final to Liverpool and also going on a run which left the team in 14th. He was then replaced between then and now by 3 permanent managers, with caretaker managers not counting. In respective order, Luke, who was manager 1, 2, and 3, please?
Jose Mourinho,
Yes,
Nuno Espirito Santo,
yes.
and Antonio the Rat Conte.
Okie dokie. And Wes, your answers, please.
So Poch was replaced by Jose Mourinho. Then Mourinho lasted 18 months, even though it felt a bit longer, really, with COVID in there. And then was replaced by Nuno Espirito Santo. And then he didn't last very long either because the players stunk out the gaff and got him the sack. And then was replaced by an Italian called Antonio Conte.
Wonderful. And which manager out of them would make us proud? After he's no, that one does not count. But you have both got all of them correct, so that is 3 points each for that one. Number 4. Which player was sold in January 2019 controversially, which could have won Spurs the 2019 Champions League final, as confirmed by Pochettino and other sources who was in the playing squad at the time? Luke, your answer, please.
We'll go with Wes's favourite player, that is Moussa Dembele.
And Wes?
Yes, it is the greatest of all time, Moussa Dembele.
Correct. And I thought you'd like that question because I know you've read all the same freaking extracts as me on that, haven't you? So
yeah. Kieran Trippier was a big one that was quite vocal on that one, saying literally if we hadn't have sold Dembele, we'd have won the Champions League final. I think Eric Dyer was also quite vocal on that.
To be honest, though, if he was playing in that midfield, they wouldn't have scrambled the ball to the edge of the box, which would have resulted in Lucas Moura just smashing it home to get us in there in the last minute. So you never know. Things happen for a reason, right? So
no, exactly. And I mean, Jan Vertonghen was another big advocate because obviously he was best mates with Moussa Dembele as well. So it was just a very big controversial transfer, but it's one of them where it's a matter of opinion, but I quite like the opinion. So that's why I went with it on that one. So our final question was, in a controversial game where Spurs drew 3-3, there was a turbulent press conference after the game by a manager who we had, which then resulted in him being sacked a week later and being replaced by his assistant. Who is the manager and who is the assistant? Luke?
the manager who drinks Moretti and eats spaghetti, Antonio Conte.
Yes. And his assistant?
Oh, Christian Stellini.
Okie dokie. And Wes?
Yeah, so these are the players. They don't want to play under stress. It's easier in this way. It's Antonio Conte was the manager, and Christian Stellini took over, who actually I think had a half decent record up until the Newcastle game, where we got absolutely tanked, and that spelt the end of his reign. Because I think there was this weird thing where if Stellini was in charge, Tottenham were actually unbeaten at one point. So that was quite fun.
Yeah, I think it was that one time that he chose to change the formation, weren't it, to play a little bit more attacking, and we got ripped apart. Was it 6-1 or something like that in that game?
Yeah, 4-0 down in 20 minutes.
Yeah, and do you know the worst thing? I was at that fucking game.
Oh.
That was
Did
painful.
you leave?
No, I stayed because I'd paid quite a lot of money for the ticket, so I was going to get pain, but I was also going to have money involved. So it was either that or gambling, and I stayed for that game. So after that round, everyone got correct points on that one. So, based on how it is, I will go back through my paperwork, and the winner with 3-1 is Wesley McGrath.
Whee! Bang!
So, if I just get up our swanky score predictor table, Wes, as I promised, you do get 3 points from this, mate.
I think it should be 5 because I've turned up and the other two haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine by me. I
So
mean,
Luke, you're
I'm in control, so.
And I
Yeah,
also
you're in charge.
and I also did not get a question wrong either.
Okay, I think that's fair then. So, Wes, Luke, are you in agreement that we will be granting Wes 5 points from this?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, why not?
So, for winning, Wes, you do get 5 points. So that will take you to 17th on our leaderboard, and that will put you ahead of Dave and Winnie, who will probably not be happy with
Oh, so
us.
he's getting 5 points.
Well, you said
I thought he
5.
was going to get 3 for winning.
Well, yeah, I said 3, and then I just asked you if it was 5, and you just said yes.
Oh, right. No, sorry. I wasn't paying attention. No, 3 points.
Okay, 3 points then.
I reckon it should be 5 because I actually turned up and I didn't get a question wrong either.
Nope. Panel has agreed. It's free. Deal with it.
Luke just doesn't want me to go to the top of the table. That's literally it.
Right. So
He still has hopes and dreams of catching me.
Wes, you do get 3 points, so that does put you on 15th, 1 point behind the other two for that. Now, obviously, we have got a game next weekend. I believe, isn't it? Let me just have a quick look. 3rd of April. When the fuck's the 3rd of April?
It's Chelsea away. It's a Thursday.
Oh, so even better. So we can cover that next weekend. So we don't have to do any score predictor or anything like that. But obviously, Wes, you have won tonight's Spurs trivia quiz. I hope you all enjoyed it, to be honest. It was a little bit of fun. It did keep us going for an hour. It probably went on longer than I thought it would, to be honest. But I mean, obviously, all your trivia is great. Wes, you are very sad when it comes to it. I'm not going to lie, mate. And but no, I mean, obviously, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and it's another thing for us to get away from the international break and enjoy ourselves a little bit. And obviously, everyone is. Oh, there we go. Where's your mum's your biggest fan? So she loves you on that one, mate.
Love it. Love it.
But no, I mean, I think that's the end of the show tonight. So obviously, thanks very much to everyone who tuned in. Luke, thanks for letting me host this, mate. It was a great laugh. So where can everyone find you?
Well, yeah, if you want to follow controversial tweets, I had a tweet, funnily enough, actually go absolutely insane this week, which is quite interesting to get everyone's grip on. But yeah, if you want to, follow more interesting tweets like that, you can just follow me, Luke_Parklane. More importantly, you can catch me obviously on here, hosting the show. But I was recently on a video with Spurs Kings TV where we talked about my thoughts and lots of other YouTubers' thoughts. I don't really like to be called a YouTuber, but anyway, it turns out that's the way I am. On Ange Postecoglou. So yeah, go and have a watch of that. Show them some love. But more importantly, click the follow button, click the like button, subscribe, because we want to push this channel as much as we can. The more that you subscribe, the more that will get us out to other people. The more that you click like on the videos, the more it will get out to other people. The more that you like our Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the rest of it, will push us out. So if you want to see us grow and continue next season, then keep clicking those buttons. That's all I care about.
Yeah, no, exactly, mate. Exactly. And Wes, obviously, we have covered some of your favourites tonight. So where can everyone find you, mate?
Yeah, so as people knows, Twitter at Wezo10, the unofficial Moussa Dembele fan account. Usually used to tweet things about the best Belgian that ever graced Premier League shores, but now I think I'm starting to tweet more about Tottenham, which is going to get me cancelled, I think, at some point, to be fair. So good luck with that. Instagram's at Wesley32, usually at a Spurs home game. I will be at the Southampton game as well in a couple of weeks' time, so very much looking forward to that. I run my own football coaching page and business, so Kickoff Football Academy or at Co4MK across all your socials. For that, we've got Easter camp coming up, so if there are any kids watching in and around Milton Keynes area, then please sign up, because the more we get, the better things that we can do. Make sure, obviously, people that you're liking, commenting, subscribing, doing all the good stuff, so we can keep on doing fun, different things, and obviously talking Spurs, as we all love to do.
No, that's great, mate. That's great. And obviously, if anyone wants to waste their time and follow me on Twitter, I usually comment on Luke's stuff or Harry's stuff and end up in a rant with someone or other in the DMs. So that does make my life more fun instead of sitting in front of a computer for work all day. So it is Kallum Stubbs 97 on Twitter. But no, obviously, it's been a nice peaceful week. We've had a great Legends game today, a great quiz with two legends of the YouTube podcast community with me tonight as well. So no, thanks very much for everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go and check us out on all of our different platforms, and a big come on you Spurs.
Come on you Spurs.